Imagine standing under a dark, starry sky and suddenly opening your eyes. For a thousands of years old stretch of human history, the smartest people on Earth thought those twinkling stars reached your eyes at the exact same moment you looked up. An ancient belief held by great thinkers like Aristotle and Descartes painted a universe where light was totally instantaneous. They believed light did not travel, but simply existed everywhere all at once, like a magical web connecting the whole universe in a single heartbeat. If you lit a candle on the moon, they thought you would see the flame on Earth at the exact same split second. There was no waiting, no delay, and no speed limit. It was just instant magic. To challenge this giant idea, it would take a young, stubborn stargazer from Denmark named Ole Roemer. In the year 1676, Ole was not trying to rewrite the rules of the universe. He was just a hard-working assistant living in Paris, trying to solve a very practical, everyday problem for lost sailors. Ship captains sailing across the huge, empty oceans were getting terribly lost. They needed a giant, glowing clock in the sky to help them figure out exactly where their wooden ships were floating in the middle of the dark water. If everyone on Earth could look up and read the exact same clock, nobody would ever get lost at sea again. Ole thought he had found the perfect sky clock by looking at Jupiter and its dancing moons. One little moon, named Io, played a giant game of cosmic hide-and-seek. It would dip behind the giant planet Jupiter, disappear into the dark shadow, and then pop back out on a very strict schedule. Ole carefully wrote down every single time the little moon peeked out from the shadows. He expected it to run exactly like a perfect ticking pocket watch. He spent night after freezing night glued to his brass telescope, drawing careful charts of the moon's wonderful dance. But soon, a very frustrating problem ruined his beautiful, neat charts. The perfect sky clock was broken. Ole stared at his numbers in total disbelief, feeling the heavy weight of a failed project pressing down on his tired shoulders. Sometimes the little moon popped out of the shadows way too early. Other times it showed up way too late, dragging its feet like a sleepy child. It made absolutely no sense at all. A lesser scientist might have just thrown the messy papers into a warm fireplace, blamed the cloudy weather, and given up completely. It is a terrible feeling when the universe refuses to follow your careful rules. But Ole refused to ignore the weird mistakes in his math. He zoomed out in his mind and looked at the whole solar system, tracking where our planet Earth was spinning, while Jupiter's moon played its game of hide-and-seek. He started to notice a strange hidden pattern that made his heart race with excitement. When Earth was racing closer to Jupiter in its circle around the Sun, the little moon seemed to speed up its schedule. When Earth was flying far away from Jupiter, the moon seemed to slow down and run late. The mistakes were not random at all. They followed a perfect, beautiful rhythm. This accidental observation of the planets moving sparked one of the greatest ideas in human history. Ole suddenly realized the little moon was never changing its speed at all. The moon was keeping perfect time. The delay was happening because the image of the moon had to physically cross the massive, empty ocean of space between Jupiter and Earth. When Earth moved further away, that picture simply had a longer road to travel before it could hit the glass of Ole's telescope. It was like waiting for a friend to run across a huge field to deliver a letter. The further away you stand, the longer the letter takes to arrive. This meant light was not magic, and it was certainly not instant. Light was a physical traveler, speeding through the dark ocean of space, and it had a strict speed limit. This single brilliant thought shattered the old rules of the world. Ole had caught light in the act of moving. He proved that the universe was not happening all at once, but was actually playing out like a grand, delayed stage play. For the very first time, a human being had put a speed limit on the stars. Excited by his massive breakthrough, the young astronomer rushed to share his discovery with the smartest people in Paris. He boldly stood in front of the Royal Science Academy, his heart pounding in his chest. He declared to the room of famous men that light took time to travel. He expected wild cheers and loud celebration for solving a puzzle that had confused humanity for centuries. He thought they would carry him on their shoulders for cracking the cosmic code. Instead, he was met with cold stares, rolling eyes, and loud, cruel laughter. The boss of the famous observatory, a very powerful and well-known scientist named Giovanni Cassini, completely rejected the young man's idea. Cassini and his powerful friends simply could not let go of the comforting ancient belief that light was instantaneous. They told Ole his math was sloppy, his telescope was cheap, and his wild ideas were just foolish, impossible dreams. They thought the idea of traveling light was just a silly excuse for bad note-taking. The scientific establishment slammed the heavy wooden door of progress right in his face. Imagine holding the greatest secret of the universe in your hands, only to have everyone tell you it is total garbage. It must have felt like a punch to the stomach. Ole packed up his bags, left the bright city of Paris, and returned home to Denmark. He stepped away from the grand debates of the universe. He spent the rest of his life working on totally different, grounded projects. He fixed broken streetlights, built new water canals, and organized the local police force. He lived a good life, but he never saw the world accept his beautiful, brilliant idea about the traveling light. Yet, a truly good idea never really dies. The seeds Ole planted in those messy notebooks waited patiently in the dark, gathering dust on library shelves. Decades rolled by, and the old stubborn scientists slowly faded away, making room for fresh eyes and open minds. Over 50 years later, a brand new generation of stargazers looked back at the sky. They had better tools, sharper glass in their telescopes, and a deep hunger for the real truth. These new explorers pointed their shiny new telescopes at Jupiter and found the exact same delays in the starlight that the young Danish astronomer had seen so long ago. The new, perfect measurements perfectly matched the old, dusty notes written by a rejected man. The math was undeniable. Finally, the world woke up and realized that Ole Roemer was right all along. The grand illusion of the instant universe was gone forever, replaced by a much more wonderful, strange, and beautiful reality. Because light takes time to travel, looking up at the night sky is literally a form of real-life time travel. When you see a bright star shining above your house, you are not seeing it as it is right now. You are seeing the light that left that star hundreds or even thousands of years ago. If a star is very far away, you are seeing a picture of it from the exact time when dinosaurs walked on Earth. You are looking deeply into the past, seeing ghost images of history painted across the dark canvas of space. This changes how we feel every single time we step outside on a clear night. We are physically connected to the deep past, catching ancient rays of light on our faces like raindrops from history. The simple act of gazing upward becomes a magical connection to the story of the universe. All of this wonder exists because one stubborn man refused to ignore a tiny mistake in his broken sky clock. He saw a glitch, and instead of hiding it, he pulled the thread until the whole universe unraveled. Today, we use the speed of light to measure the very edges of our universe. We talk about light years as the ultimate cosmic ruler, measuring distances so huge they make our brains spin. Every modern spaceship flying to Mars, every amazing picture from a giant space telescope, and every deep secret we unlock about the stars relies on that one fundamental rule. The speed of light is the heartbeat of modern science. The ripples of that early discovery spread far and wide, reshaping understanding across the globe. Humanity's curiosity continued its relentless march forward. The tools grew larger, the telescopes grew stronger, but the basic human desire to understand the dark remained exactly the same. We still look for hidden patterns in the shadows, hoping to find the next great truth hiding in plain sight, just waiting for someone brave enough to notice it. Think about the incredible power of a simple question. Ole did not have supercomputers, laser beams, or rocket ships. He had a brass tube with some curved glass lenses, a paper notebook, and a wonderfully curious mind. He looked at a tiny white dot dancing around a bigger white dot, and he asked why it was not following the rules. He trusted his own eyes more than he trusted the oldest books in the world. That simple question tore down an invisible wall that had trapped human thinking for generations. It shows us that the biggest breakthroughs often come from the most unexpected places. You do not always need to be looking for the deep secrets of the universe to actually find them. Sometimes you just need to be trying to help a lost sailor find his way home, and you end up discovering how the whole universe works. The journey of Ole Roemer is a beautiful reminder of human courage. It takes incredible bravery to stand up to the smartest people in the room and tell them they are completely wrong. It takes a special kind of heart to hold on to the truth, even when the whole world is pointing fingers and laughing at you. His quiet strength built the firm foundation for every brave stargazer who came after him. So the next time you look up at a glowing moon or a twinkling star, remember the young man who caught light in a bottle. Remember that the universe is not just a giant frozen picture, but a living, breathing movie that takes time to unfold across the dark. We are all time travelers, riding on a spinning rock, catching ancient light in our eyes, forever reaching out into the beautiful, endless mystery of the night.